everyone. So I've been asked a bunch of questions about gesso and when to use it, why you shouldn't use it, and things like that. So this is my favorite brand of gesso, Liquitex Basics. It comes in big jugs, it comes in gallon jugs, and I use a lot of gesso. I'm working in a journal right now, or sketchbook, with pages that are made out of old advertising posters, and obviously when I'm working on something like this, I don't want all the text on there, so I gesso the page to cover that up, but also to seal it. Gesso serves a couple of purposes. It gives you some tooth, or something for your pigment to grab onto. It also seals the page so that your paint doesn't, what do I want to call it, sink so much or absorb into the paper or canvas as much. There are lots of different techniques on how to use gesso, and everyone's got their favorite way of doing it. I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques. And what you want when you're gessoing depends on what you like. If you like working on a smooth surface, you want a brush kind of like this. You want a big wide brush with very fine bristles, and this puts on a nice smooth coat of gesso without too many brush strokes. You also want a sanding pad if you like to work on something smooth. You want something in fine or extra fine, because you want to knock down what little brush strokes occur when you use something like this. I like to work on rough gesso, so what I use is a brush like this, and this is a cheap bristle chip brush that I have actually cut the bristles down on. It started out like this, and I chopped the bristles down by about a ½ inch to 1 inch, and that gives me a really rough gesso coat. I don't sand between coats, so this is what I use most of the time. So I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques to gesso your pages with. You don't have to gesso your pages, obviously. You can just work on raw paper, raw canvas, or whatever, and that's fine. There's no need to gesso if you don't want to. It's just a matter of personal preference. Alright, so I got a nice blob of gesso here on a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to show you a smooth texture first. You want to put a fairly decent amount of gesso onto your page, and you want to pick a direction to work first. I usually go up and down first. Some people go side to side, and notice all my brush strokes are going in this one direction. And I'm not putting a really heavy coat on here, and I'm not going too crazy with my brush strokes. Let me see if I can zoom in here and you can see it, or see some of the brush strokes better. Can you see any of that? There, that's a little better. So the brush strokes on this are fairly light, they're faint, and then when I go in the other direction, it'll knock those down a little bit. That's all dried now. Let each coat, between each coat, dry. I went this way for the first coat, and this one, all of my brush strokes are going to go in the other direction. I'm not going real heavy with this. And this is a really inexpensive gesso brush. I got a 3-pack of these for $4.99 at AC Moore. You can buy really expensive gesso brushes, you know, $30, $40 each. And if you really want a very smooth surface to work on, that's your best bet. But for most of us, a cheap gesso brush does the job. Alright, so let me zoom in so you can see this as well. You can see the original brush strokes going this way, and then the second set going that way. And what you would do between coats is sand them down. This one I'm going to be done with for now. And